Walker, what's going on, man?
Thanks for having me, Adam. I'm super excited to be on Golf Talk Canada this morning to talk about Cherry Hill.
Absolutely, man. Super excited to have you on. And we'll get to, we were actually in Portugal together with our friend TJ Rule, who we had on yesterday from Golfway Tours. We'll get to that a little later here. But for you, man, how excited are you for final qualifying coming up on Monday?
I can tell you when I went home on Tuesday after work is kind of when it hit me. Speaking on behalf of the entire membership here, the board of directors, we couldn't be more happy to be hosting this prestigious event on Monday. Being a binational club, 50% of our membership's American, 50% Canadian. It's just very fitting for us. So we can't wait. We're looking forward to Monday.
How long has this been in the works?
It's been in the works for just about a year. So we were fortunate enough to host the local qualifier last year, and we were looking forward to getting awarded the final qualifier. Of course, had to wait for the USGA to award Canada a spot, as well as the PGA Tour schedule to come out. So it was about August when we received the contract, and again, it was just very exciting for us. And it's only a few days away, so we're getting close.
That's fantastic, man. And Cherry Hill is a world-class property. What should players be expecting when they tee it Monday morning?
So if they haven't stepped on property yet, it's a relatively flat golf course. Everything's right out in front of you. It might not look overly challenging, but let me tell you, it certainly is. And it starts with the greens. So it is a Walter J. Travis design. We're one of only a couple in the country. And for those who know Walter J. Travis, he is well known for his green complexes. They are quite undulating, so it was pretty impressive what he was able to do with an average piece of land. And so the greens will be rolling pretty quick, and we're hoping that they'll be firm, and it's looking that way. And then secondly, the bunkers. The bunkers are, as our members like to say, have about a half-shot penalty, so they're very well placed, and I think it's going to prove challenging for the players for the longest day of golf.
In conversation here with Walker Arnott, the head professional at Cherry Hill, what, if anything, have you guys, you and the Super, done to the golf course to, alter it, whether speeding up the greens? Have you got some challenging pin locations set up?
Yes, so pin locations, we're going to run through those exact locations today. Golf
Nice.
Canada's on property right now as we speak. And we were fortunate enough, back in the fall, we were able to implement a brand new tee on the 14th hole, which is now stretching out to 485 yards. So that'll be in play, of course, a par 4. And then also our 17th hole, which they were able to complete in the spring, which is stretched from 435 to 461. So total yardage is just over 7,100 yards. So the golf course itself, as it plays on a daily basis, is going to prove challenging, but the rough, as you have been talking about this week, the Canadian Open, and just hosting an event this time of year up in Canada, the rough is healthy. So we're expecting it to be close to 3.5, 4 inches. And we can't wait to see how the players fare out here.
Oh, I'm excited to see it too. So how many players are in the field and playing?
There are 65 players, and it's likely to be one of the strongest fields out of all of the final qualifiers. So we're excited to have some major champions, past PGA Tour champions, as well as some players that were fortunate enough to play their way through locals. So it's surely to be a special day.
Wow, so 65 guys. So how many spots get in through that?
So we don't know yet.
Okay.
If I were to take a guess, my guess is around 4.
Oh,
but
wow.
they will notify us at the same time they'll notify players, which will be early Monday morning.
Ooh, okay, that is spicy. And correct me if I'm wrong, but we're talking 36 holes here on 2 different properties. Is that right?
No, so 36 holes all at Cherry Hill.
Oh, okay. That's great, though. Oh, my gosh. So 36 holes, lunch in between. I mean, players are in for a treat. I haven't had a chance to be at Cherry Hill, but all I've heard is that the place is remarkable. And having to spend some time with you in Portugal, I mean, the players, it's going to be a tough test. If you could try to guess, what do you think the low score could possibly be?
It's a good question. If the wind gets up, my guess between the 2 rounds is around 8 under.
Wow.
If the wind's down and we do get some rain on the weekend, it could get into double digits. But We hosted the PGA Tour of Canada back in 2016, and I know when they first visited, they thought that players were going to take it pretty low, but it ended up being the most difficult golf course they played that entire year. So it's really hard to say. It's all about conditions, as you know.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Speaking of conditions, let's segue here before we wrap and talk about our trip to Portugal. So you were on our great trip to Portugal, our Golf Away Tours Portugal travel special, still available on our YouTube channel now. Aside from rooming with me for a couple of nights, what were some of your favorite memories and highlights from the trip?
Well, let me start by saying that TJ and Ron and their team at Golf Away Tours put on quite a show.
Mm-hmm.
They really do take care of everything and make sure that you're playing the best properties wherever that destination might be. But first and foremost, the golf was, of course, the highlight of the trip. We played a variety of different golf courses, challenging, hilly, on the water. Something about losing a ball in the ocean just doesn't feel as bad as losing one in the forest. But we had a great group. The culture, the food, the wine, everything from top to bottom was just remarkable. The weather was fantastic. I highly recommend, if anyone has a chance, definitely put Portugal on their list. The golf is really something special.
Yeah, and I found the variety was really special. And I've said this on this show before. I mean, it's so much fun for me to be on these trips because you guys as professionals see me swing a golf club and see the speed that is there, but it's about reining it in for me. So I've got to tell you that you and Phil Cavanaugh from Islington, Mark Patterson from my home course at Bayview, you guys were trying to give me some swing lessons, perhaps over an adult beverage later in the evening. And I'm telling you, Walker, it's still a work in progress, but I'm trying. How's your game right now?
My game's pretty decent. I'm happy with where it's at. I was fortunate to play a practice round here at Cherry Hill the other day with Stuart Sink, and that was quite the opportunity.
Wow.
And didn't embarrass myself, so I was pretty pleased with how that day went.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, thanks so much for doing this morning. It was so great to meet you for our trip to Portugal, and looking forward to catching up with you again very soon, my friend.
Thank you, Adam, so much for having me, and we can't wait to have you down here at Cherry Hill sometime soon.